My name is Phoebe Chappelle, and I graduated from the University of Southern California in 2021. Throughout my process, I always found the most challenging part for me was the timeline aspect. It's really hard knowing with a rolling application when to turn stuff in and how to stay on your deadlines because there's not really strict deadlines. So you kind of have to be on top of your own process and your own deadlines. So that was always really hard for me, the time management portion of it and deadlines, and especially managing everything when it came to secondaries because it's a little overwhelming getting essays from every school all day after day, it seems like. So that was the most daunting part for me and where I needed the most help. And I was also looking for people who knew what they were talking about and could tell me if I was on the right track or could guide me in my personal statement, making sure that I said what needed to be said or took out what didn't need to be said. So that's really what I was looking for in a company. So I had worked with another company in the past and struggled a little bit with communication with them, and it just kind of, we weren't really connecting that well. And one of the first things that I loved was, first of all, how quickly you guys were able to contact me after I reached out to you, because I was in a position where I really needed to get started going quickly. I was already a little bit late in the process, and I really loved the support right off the bat. So I got to meet with someone days after I contacted, and then I really loved the support all the way through. So the first person that I met with made sure to really get to know me and really understand my needs. And then they matched me with Brandon, who ended up being a perfect match for me to help me along in this process. So I really loved the matching process, and I had read that there were such great reviews from other people. So that's really what drew me in at first. Brandon was amazing. He met and exceeded my expectations. He was so awesome. At our very first meeting, we detailed this entire plan, showed me spreadsheets and timelines, and my stress was just obliterated after he did that. He reassured me that we were going to be okay, get in my application on time, and he showed me exactly how we were going to get it done. And I loved his organization and his plan and his structure. And then on top of that, he just made himself so incredibly available, which I can't imagine as a med student is easy. So I really felt so taken care of, and just like I had so much support in him. Even if I just needed him to tell me, hey, you're doing a good job, you don't have to stress about this, or to an entire meeting that I needed to have with him on a random weekend just so that we could go over some more essays. So he was incredibly knowledgeable as well as being extremely supportive. My absolute number one biggest tip is to start early with your application pieces. So you can start writing your personal statement at almost any point, and I really think that you should start as early as possible and reach out to get some help as early as possible. And thank goodness they were still able to help me, but I can only imagine how great it would have been to have started with them from the beginning. So my biggest piece of advice is to start early so that you can relieve that stress and to make sure you ask for help.